excited that you're here. Hello, everybody out there in video land. Really excited you could join us, and we really are in for the best treat because we have the Brummels all to ourselves, and they're going to each be coming up a little bit later, sharing some things that you're just going to love and are going to help all of us a lot. So we'll talk about them in just a few minutes. But I did want to find out, okay, who had something good happen this past week in their business? Okay, stand up quick. Tell us something good.
New jeweler.
New jeweler. What, Sybil?
First new jeweler.
Awesome. Great. New jeweler. That's 4. Anybody else?
I have one committed to sign up this month, at the end of this month.
That's a great thing to happen. That's great. Anybody else? Anything positive? Yes.
I have one that's saving her money to sign up, so we're working on it.
That's fantastic. Good.
I went to a book-a-thon and got 8 no's in a row. My yeses are right around the corner.
That's exactly right. That's awesome. Okay, that is thinking like a champion. Love it, because good things are on their way, right? That's great. Anybody else have something good to share that they want to share? 2 shows this week. That's a great thing to happen. How many of you have done the challenge so far? You still have 1 day. Okay, fantastic. If you have not finished it, determine in your heart to do it, okay? And go make it happen. You've got 1 more day. You literally could do the whole thing in 1 day. So make it happen. Do whatever. Have that kind of a can-do spirit, because all those things are designed to help you and to make you grow.
The audio was awesome, the audio training.
Good.
And my husband even listened to it with me.
Good. Yeah, she's, Eileen Meckley has a lot of great verbiage, just that's different, that speaks to the heart, that, you know, and it is true. One of her main messages is that if you're really thinking of it like, I just want to share with this person something that's been good in my life that might benefit them, then you don't really care if they don't want to hear it, because you're just sharing. If you're worried about them saying yes, then then it's difficult. But if you're just thinking about them, you'll just share it. If they say no, just say, thank you so much for being honest with me. At least you know what I do. If anything ever changes, just feel free to call me anytime. And you just continue on. And that really does make a difference. So excited about that. Now, what some of you may not know, how many of you realize that you can actually check your points online for this contest, for the Disney contest? And I just want to say, and I couldn't go through everybody, but we have, 10 people in our Disney Diva Dash group that are already 3,000 CV points or higher. Okay, now that is, there's like months and months left, and you're already a third of the way to qualifying. So that's pretty exciting. So I want to recognize in first place in our whole downline, and she could not be here tonight, is Diana Boyette. 6,848 CV. Laura Weatherly, 5,819. Yes, please stand. Kelly Jo Bang, 5,721 points. Halfway there. Halfway there. Michelle West, 5,137. Rosie Stoner. Hi, Rosie. Rosie from Dallas area, 4,509. Jessica Stevens from Missouri, 4,023. Congratulations, Jessica. Sybil LaCour, stand up. 4,002. That's fantastic. And she is a brand new jeweler and just signed up her 3rd person. So she's doing fantastic. Jessica Munson, 3,655. So she's over 3rd there. Deborah Rayleigh, 3,342. Jerry Gandimko, 3,138. Stand up. You're in 3rd, right there. Isn't that exciting? Now you just need 6 more so she's almost at 3,000. So congratulations to all of you, and there were a bunch of others that are getting close to that. So that is fantastic. I heard Melissa Terrell talking yesterday about, she's just telling everybody, hey, why don't you just decide that you're going to do it by Christmas? You've got a few points, because if you hit 10,000 by Christmas, you've got all those months left to be able to just get money or get the second trip for free. So set a goal to do it as soon as you possibly can. Just a few quick announcements before we roll into, I really would love for all of you to please, please, please check your Facebook page once a day. Okay? Just do it first thing in the morning, last thing before you go to bed, sometime. Please, please, please. Because I know that a bunch of people are not getting the messages. So I would really appreciate if y'all could do that. It would help a lot. Also, post when good things happen. Okay? Because it's not, and this is your free pass. You are not bragging. Okay? I want you to know, just get on there because it encourages everybody else to see good things happening. Okay, so just put it out there, you know, take a picture of that contract, cover up the social security number, and, you know, things like that.
There's
But
no
just,
contract anymore, Julie.
pardon me?
There's no contract.
Oh, there's no contract.
Take a picture of the screen.
Or take a picture of the jeweler, of the new jeweler or something. So, I keep forgetting that. Wow, that is a good thing. Okay, Monday morning. What do we have?
Conference.
First conference call, Elizabeth Draper. Write down this number. This is your call-in number, 712-432-0075. 712-432-0075. It is 10 a.m. It starts on time. And the access number is 219-892. And she is going to be talking about practical tips to build a successful business. And she is fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Roundup tomorrow. Don't forget. Come tomorrow. Going to be incredible.
Can you repeat the access code?
Yes, 219-892. And just so you'll know, this is going to be videotaped. So if you're a team leader or you have somebody on your team who couldn't be here, just make sure they know. I did. I think I just sent out an email. Please, you know, because you committed to being in this team, you really committed to making sure you watch or listen to each conference call and each video. There's just 2 of the videos. That's it. This is the last one. I mean, you don't have to, if you were here, you don't have to watch it, obviously. But also the conference calls, if you work and can't be on that, please do listen right away. Because we're going to announce the next, what are they called, challenges. And we're going to do a drawing. Oh, don't forget, that reminds me. By Sunday at 3, team leaders, y'all need to be sure to tell us, not only give your stats for this week, but also tell us if you completed the challenge. So don't forget, this is the week. Okay? So, yes.
Can you remind them that I need the email too?
Yes. Team leaders, when you send it in, send it to me and to Lucy. And why don't you give them your email address?
Okay, it's Lucy Hernandez, Lucy Hernandez, HERNANDEZ 51 at AOL.com.
Okay, that's Lucy Hernandez 51 at AOL.com. Okay? So please send it to both of us. How many of you have kept your dream in front of you this week? Working it. It's hard to keep thinking about it, isn't it? Focus can be a hard thing. But I would really encourage you, always keep your dreams in front of you. Make sure you think about them every day. Make sure you remember why you're doing this, what your purpose really is, what you're trying to accomplish, not only just for this, but also in Premier overall. Because when you keep your dreams in front of you and you know your purpose, you can continue. and you can stay focused, and you can retrain your mind to think differently. You've got to learn to think like a winner, and that is where it does begin. So I want to read you something else from this wonderful book, Dreams Are Whispers from the Soul. And this one is It's Never Too Late. Bessie had been an amateur photographer for 25 years. Now at 70, she had a very clear dream. I want to be a world-famous professional photographer, she said, and then emphasized, the difference between an amateur and a professional is a professional gets paid. Fabulous, I exclaimed. That's the dream person here. Fabulous, I exclaimed. Is anything stopping you? She paused for a long time. I'm sure I need credentials, but don't want to go back to school at my age. I listened between the words and felt what she was saying. Bessie, what's really in your way? I gently asked. Everyone is telling me I'm too old. She slumped. They are telling me to be realistic. Outrageous, I thought. Nonsense, I said. What's a step you can take to show that you are more committed to your dream than to your doubt? She reflected for a moment, and then suddenly her eyes lit up. I know what to do. I have an application sitting on my desk for a photo contest sponsored by Kodak. Just entering would have me prove to myself that I'm serious about this. So she took a stunning photograph of a man playing a sousaphone with, is that how you say that? With golden tones of his instrument reflecting his bright red band uniform. She proudly sent it off to the Kodak competition, now mind you, along with 500,000 other entries. Bessie won first prize, which included a check for $10,000. I ran out to get business cards printed, she bragged. After all, now I really am a professional. Her photograph toured around the world with the Journey into Imagination exhibit. She got the whole dream. Bessie, what did you learn from this? What wisdom would you share? I asked. She looked me square in the eyes and said, it's never too late to make a dream come true. Until you get to the end of your life and look back on what you did or didn't accomplish, how do you know if something is realistic? Most people compromise their dreams down to what they realistically believe they can accomplish before they explore the possibilities of where their dreams might take them. Not Betsy and not you. Isn't that good? You know, it's never too late to fulfill your dreams. So I want you to write this one thing down. I want you to think for just a second, what is a step you can take to show that you are more committed to your dream than you are to your doubt? What is one step you can take that shows you're more committed to your dream than to your doubt? Think about that. And take action this week. Wouldn't that be awesome? We all took action on what that is. Great things will happen. Okay? Now, without any further ado, I want to introduce Becca and Melissa. And are you both coming up at the same time?
Yep.
Okay. Did y'all get to meet them? This is Rebecca Brummel, or Becca. Which do you prefer? Either. And this is Melissa Tubergen. And I want to tell you just a couple things about them. But I've literally watched them grow up, and I just love them to death. And it's just awesome that they're both in Premier with their mom. And they are a true success story. Because I'm telling you, these girls are both dynamite. They have growing businesses. Melissa's a 3-diamond. Becca's a 2-diamond. Becca has been a jeweler for 8 years. She's a 2-diamond, has completed 698 jewelry shows in 8 years. and has already completed 90 in 2012. She was number 9 retailer in the nation from 2011 to 2012. She's already over 10,000 CV. She's going to Disney. And it's only 7 weeks into the contest. I mean, seriously. What was your retail for August?
15,680.
15,000 in August. Her average retail is typically around $750, but since Raleigh it's been $910 average. And she is a single woman and works Premier full-time and has for 3 years, and this is how she supports herself, and she's phenomenal. And her favorite part of Premier is, you tell her.
Everything.
Everything. She loves the flexibility. Here she is. She doesn't have to answer to anybody except for God.
For sure, my favorite is to have an easy schedule that I can ebb and flow and be with my family.
Yeah, it's really awesome. She's the best aunt in the entire world. And her oldest niece took her to school as the VIP in her life. So, there you go. Okay, Melissa is fabulous. She has been in Premier almost 10 years now, as of Roundup, right? 9 years, 11 months.
Yes.
So, almost 10 years.
I got my email today about my renewal in October.
Are you going to do it?
I think so.
You think she's going to renew? Okay, and she has done all of this. Okay, she's been in almost 10 years. She's done all of this with 4 children. Abby, 8.5, Faith, 6, Eli, 2.5, Olivia, 21 months.
Oh, wow.
So she
It's not good.
puts it together, and she is incredible at knowing how much she needs to do, what she needs to do, and makes it happen. And she just talked on jammies and jewelry last Sunday night, on calendar control. She's fantastic at that, and she does a minimum of 5 shows every month. And that's pretty darn good with a big growing downline and 4 little ones at home that are craziness. And her favorite thing about Premier is the home show. She loves to have that personal connection with everyone. So they are, okay, last time we got together, they're going to share for just a few minutes, and then Joni's going to share the rest of the time. But we're going to hear from both of them a lot tomorrow as well. But Missy and Deborah shared a few quick things on increasing your CV for this contest, but we were running short of time, so they were just like having to race through the whole thing. And so these girls are going to come up and give a lot of, we kind of talked about what they'd already shared, and they're going to give a bunch of really great new stuff. So take it away, girls.
Okay, thank you. All right, we came up with the top 10 tips for increasing your CV. The first, and these are not in any like numerical order by any means. The first one would be to sponsor a new jeweler with a kit. It kind of sounds like a no-brainer, but there's a lot of ladies that will join without a kit, and we all know the value of getting a kit isn't just for our CV points. So if we can talk to them about that value of getting a kit. Women come to a jewelry show, I'm quite certain, to see jewelry and not to look at a catalog. And so we need to help them see that value as well, maybe even reminding them of the experience that they felt when they came to your jewelry show, if they did. Like, how would you have felt if you came and I showed you a catalog? You probably wouldn't love it. And so we need to remember that as well. And so that will automatically add either 475 CV points for you or 750 with a new jeweler. Another great idea is just schedule jewelry shows. Jewelry shows, of course, help. And a great idea that Julie had just shared was you could have, okay, I'm going to explain this as simplistic as I can. You can set a goal for yourself of how many jewelry shows you would like to have from now until the end of the qualifying period in March. So maybe, for example, that might be 50 jewelry shows. You can say at your jewelry shows, let girls know that you're in a contest. Women love to help other girls. I think it's fantastic. My goal every month is to do 12 jewelry shows a year, 12 jewelry shows a month. And so if I'm not tracking to that, I will let girls know I'm in a contest.
And it can be a personal contest too. So let girls know that you're in a contest to hold jewelry shows from now until the end of March. And for everyone that schedules a jewelry show, you could have some sort of like play money, maybe a $10 bill, and you would say for everyone that schedules a jewelry show, you get to write your name on this $10 play money. I'm going to put it in my Mickey bank. And at the end, when I've reached my goal of 50 jewelry shows, someone's name is going to be drawn out and they're going to win that amount in free jewelry, which would be $500 in free jewelry. Isn't that great? And so you know for you, it's going to cost you $250. So her $10 name goes in one hat and you put $5 of cash into an envelope. You know it's coming. You know you're going to spend the $250. And so come March, you're not blindsided thinking, I have to come up with $250. You've actually set that money aside after every single jewelry show. And so you get to bless that one gal with $500 in jewelry. And so it will be a great gift for her and 250 CD for you. So it's like double dipping, right? Isn't that so fun? So schedule shows, but with a purpose and letting them know that there's a reward for them at the end too.
You could also, if you have friends, relatives, people that work or live out of state or further than you can travel for doing a jewelry show, have them do a catalog show. Tell them you're in a contest and that you're trying to win a Disney trip, and if you can help me out by passing a catalog around and collecting 5 orders for me. I think giving them an amount of orders that you're looking to get makes it attainable for them. They can be like, oh good, I got 3, I just need 2 more. Or if you want to increase it or whatever it might be. But I know that sometimes catalog shows, because girls can't see it and touch it and try it on, are generally as successful as a jewelry show. So if you give them the goal of getting 5 orders, that might be a little more attainable than just putting it out there. They have something to work for too. Okay?
Be open-minded as we are going into the holidays. I know for some of us that's scary language, but we're almost 110 days away from Christmas. Scary, right?
Actually, 109 is a
Thank you. I'm away from home, so my brain is a little. So be open-minded for a holiday open house, or be willing to do a sample sale. Our area has a lot of like craft fairs and expos during the holiday season, so put your name on that. And if the price point is high to rent a booth or a table, you have a room full of friends that you could share that spot with or rotate time slots. This is an easy way to get the word out about your jewelry and to make some quick sales as well. So be open-minded and have lots of opportunities, especially around the holidays, to get additional orders.
Hosting multiple mystery hostess home shows. I'm sure we all know women from various different avenues in our life. It can be family, friends, church friends, a social group friends, your kids' parents' friends, all of those. And if you segregate them into doing like, okay, I'm just going to invite my children's friends' moms to this mystery hostess show. So then you do one for them. And then you do one just for your family. And then you do one just for the church girls. And you do one just for the neighbor ladies. And then you can really honestly host one a week at your house every month almost, and leading into the holiday season. I think a lot of times offering an exclusive discount to these ladies and offering the ability for them to win the free jewelry really caters to them. It makes it more intimate and more personal. That way you can connect with these women on that same level of, okay, they're all like soccer moms. I know we see each other all the time on the soccer field, that you all share one common bond versus trying to connect with this one from this area, and this one from this area, and this one from this area. You can cover all your bases at one time.
You could really do a mystery hostess show every single week for 5 weeks if you wanted to. There are girls that move or need to restart their business that will do 2 a month. So if you can't come Monday, I'd love to have you Thursday. You know, and so you can break it up that way too. It's an excellent idea. You could do. This is one of my favorites. Oh no, we're not there yet. Shoot. No, it's fine. Teach your hostess to utilize her half-price items. Remind her that Christmas is coming. Be a woman that listens at your jewelry show. So if her mother-in-law is there and swooning over a piece of jewelry or a great watch, be a good listener and say, you know what, your mother-in-law absolutely adored this necklace. This would make a great Christmas present, and you know it's something she would enjoy. Or that hard-to-shop for sister-in-law, or you know, someone that she might need to think about Christmas presents for. There's nothing better than Christmas gifts for half price. So teach her how to use her half price items. If she has young children, jewelry will make especially our jewelry makes a great gift for teachers, and so this would be an excellent way for her to even think ahead to her kiddos' teachers. Any sort of half-price items that she's able to contribute will certainly help your CV for your show.
If you have kids that are still in school, this kind of goes back to doing the expos and craft fairs, but talking to them about it, or if they're involved in any sort of club sport or anything that would need fundraising, now is a great time to do a fundraiser for a lot of those, and letting them know that you're there to help them, doing a party with a purpose, that kind of a thing, and so that way you can gain the CV off of it, but you are turning it around and helping them as well.
Such a great idea. You could have a Hostess of the Month club. This is an excellent idea. If you have a hostess bank or hostess email, you could, on the beginning of every month, send out a monthly special. Melissa's passing around a flyer of a good example of what you could do every single month. So you don't have to come up with something unless you're ultra creative or already have an idea. This is an easy email that you can send out monthly. It lets girls know that you have a special or a prize, that, a way for them to get a piece of jewelry at a discount. It keeps your name in front of theirs, and so it's just an easy way for you to make a double connection. This is wonderful. If you remind them to keep their catalog and you give them a special, they will for sure love you for life. You know, hostesses, they love the jewelry and they love you, and this is an easy way for you to stay connected for sure. Additional ideas on top of what you may see. You could do a jewelry bundle, like all ensembles are 15% off, have a BOGO sale or a watch sale. January, my favorite special is to ring in the new year. So see the flyer, and hopefully that will help trigger some great ideas for you, and you can cater it to your area or to the season as well. It's fantastic.
That's what I like about that sheet. You don't necessarily have to email them the whole sheet, but you can take that idea and send it out in an email. February, everything pink and red is not 20% off, or hearts, or whatever. And that way they can just see the one option versus, oh, I'm going to wait till next month instead to get that. Network to managers in offices and in salons. At the beginning of the year, I did a jewelry show with a salon owner. She owned 5, I don't know if you guys have known, they're called Great Clips. It's kind of a little salon. And so she owns 5 of them, and so her Christmas party was, I came in, did a jewelry show, and their gift was a dollar amount to spend on jewelry. And so if you can talk to the owner, manager, that kind of a thing, of a salon or of a dental office, those are always really good ones. It's all women hygienists in there. And so those law offices, other office buildings generally have a lot of women that work in there. If you can talk to the person that will coordinate that, that could be a great way for you to serve them by making it easy for them to pick out their Christmas gifts, but also helping you out at the same time. And that a lot of times will result in something that will happen during the day. So if you have the daytime available, you can free up an evening. So you can do a twofer. One in the day, one at night.
And the last idea, if you girls don't do this already, is to have some sort of retailing incentive at your jewelry show. Premier jewelry is priced so well and so affordable, but we all know that the more jewelry they have, the more jewelry they will love. And so the more we can get it in their hands, the better. And so have some sort of incentive for them to get an extra couple pieces of jewelry. So whether that's a buy 2, get your third at 30%, or you say spend $75, get a half price item. That's my special right now. Spend $75, get a half price item. Spend $150, get 2. It's an unlimited special. So as many times as you spend $75. And when you give them permission to shop, they'll shop. Purchase $100 and receive a pashmina scarf, or your name goes in a drawing for a purse, or something fantastic. Use the Happy Book, which you may have never heard of before. It's taking a catalog and doing a spiral bound, or getting some way of noting that it's special, and have just one of them, and everything that's $21 or less, you put a happy face sticker next to, and those items are available for $10 when they've spent X amount of dollars or purchased X amount of items. And so these are great items for the ladies, and it gives them an extra opportunity to pick a piece of jewelry at a deep discount. So you could have a 3 for 3 sale. This is so cute. Buy 3 items at regular price, get 3 half price items. So there's lots of ways for you to work a special. You can even cater it to what is working at your home shows. If they are absolutely loving all things bangle, you could say, you know, spend $50 and get all bangles are half price tonight. You know, there's lots of things you can do. I do put my shopping special on my invitation, so girls know what they're coming to shop for. And so it's just like when you get your advertisement to Target, you know what you're going in for because it's what's on sale. And so ladies like to be informed when they're walking in the door. And I think that that's an easy way for you to increase your retail for certain.
I would encourage you when you're looking at doing a sale for your shows is to pick one and not offer multiple. So if you're sticking with a happy book, do just the book. Don't do this and half price items and this because that's just people will forget and then they won't do anything. They'll pick one shine necklace.
And so, right, it's absolutely overwhelming. And so you could, so that it's said often what your sale or special is, you could make a nice flyer and put it on a frame or something and put it on your display, or have a couple of them, maybe one near the checkout and one on your table. That way girls are well informed at what's going on. You're one person and there might be 10 or 12 or 13 girls in the room, and so you don't want them to forget. You want them to always know what the sale or special is for the evening. That way they know exactly what they're shopping for certain. Yeah. Any questions? Yes.
Okay, so to buy 3 items and then get 3 at half price, what if they say, can I get the most expensive ones at
That
half price?
is a jeweler's preference. You get to choose. That's why sometimes, that's why sometimes a dollar amount is an easier answer to that question.
I find too that a dollar amount is better because if she buys a watch and then a pair of earrings, then she might be like, well, I have spent $100. But we still don't qualify
and she
for the
bought
special.
the shine necklace times 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so it's an easier way for you to give that clear parameter. Yes. Any other questions? Okay. Yeah. No? Oh, fantastic.
Great job. What did I do with my little thing?
My clipboard. Hi, everyone.
Let me get a close-up.
Good dance.
You can turn that off.
Sorry.
Hi. Okay, but great job, girls. Wasn't that fun?
Yeah.
Very good. I don't think we're going to get any good information tomorrow. Just don't think it's going to happen. I do want to tell y'all, I just sent out, if you haven't checked your emails yet, just sent out some great flyers on some Christmas combo ideas that Elizabeth Draper came up with, and Angie Bukta kind of worked with it and forwarded them to me. So if you haven't checked your emails, go in there. It's a constant contact and click on it. It'll take you to our website. It actually will take you to the Christmas ideas, and you just scroll down and look for it. Some great combo ideas that you can use at your shows. It'll be cute. We also, another idea, Lucy does, puts together our special, and we put them on the back of our writing boards. And those are on our website as well. And so there's different ideas you can do, and go in there and change them up and use any of those ideas. So, you know, be looking, because they're out there on that website. Okay, we're going to get to hear from truly one of my best friends, Joni Brummel. And if I could just tell you, she's got all sorts of things that I can say about her. I mean, she started 16 years ago, so that's 4 years after I got started. So literally 16 years we've been friends, and I cannot tell you how much she's changed. And you will see it tomorrow. So you will see. Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
Oh, you're not going to believe. You are going to see the before and after, and you'll just be amazed. It's just amazing. But she started in Premier. Let me tell you the deal. She had absolutely low self-esteem. Never thought she could ever do this. Never thought that she could possibly do it. Didn't look like the jewelry lady. Didn't act like the jewelry lady. You know, took care of a campground, and she's going to share all that with you. But she was a phenomenal leader of women through their ministry. And Becky Wallace, her best friend, knew she could do it. And literally took Joni by the hand and said, girl, I've got enough faith for both of us. Come on. And she did it, and she just listened to Becky, and Becky kind of redid her, so that's why you see pink lips all the time. Bright pink lips. You know Becky Wallace has had contact. But it's amazing because her whole first year, I mean, she's going through work, you know, doing whatever Becky said to do, not knowing she was doing well, feeling like she wasn't doing well at all. And Mel, her husband, was not on board at all. He had another direct sales business that he was working like crazy and putting all his time poo-pooing Joni, you know, that hers was, you know, mine's much better. And he had way more people under him. Okay, lots more people because she was just getting started. Okay, so literally she's rolling to Raleigh, and she went to Raleigh because Becky said you need to go to Raleigh. And so she and Mel went to Raleigh. How did you get him there? I don't know because he was
I
completely...
told him that he had to go, and he went, oh, he thought it was going to be a romantic.
Yeah, he's thinking, you know exactly why he went.
We're moving with the wall of
And so, seriously, she went to Raleigh thinking, I'm going because I want to go to one, but there's no way I can do this without his support. I'm quitting. I mean, that was how she felt. And I will never forget exactly when it all changed. Because we had our annual rally party, and there we were. Do you remember this?
Oh, yes, I was there.
We're at the rally party. Of course, that was when we did our whole downline, our whole 10-10-10 came, and I gave all these awards, and literally, Joni's getting every award. She's getting every major award. And you could just see Mel going, you know, like, oh my gosh, I guess she's doing pretty well. You know, and you just could kind of see it. And then, I guess they went home, and at some point, they both got their commission checks on the same day. How many people did you have? 4 people. Mel had 70 or
I
something.
had like 1,000 customers and 100 reps. And
Craziness. And Joni's commission check way outdid his. And he's like, okay, I may be dumb, but I'm not that stupid. So that was, you know, that was it. And from then on, Mel jumped on board, and it's just been incredible to see how God has used them. And she has just been promoted to executive director. She is about to do her 1,000th home show. She's achieved all levels of the Crown Jewel program. She's won the Servant Leader Award. She is married to a Mr. Premier, so he's come a long way too. And they have about almost 440 jewelers now in their 10-10-10, 18 builders, 18 designers, 24 diamond designers. And she's just, as you can tell, one of her favorite things is helping other women achieve their God-given potential, because that's what happened to her. And so everybody just sits there and listens to whatever she says. So it's a privilege to have you here, and she is going to be sharing with us about the center ring. She's getting us ready for the circus tomorrow.
yeah, that is me, girl. So I was that girl 16 years ago, and I could not tell you how grateful I am to the Lord for giving me a 5'2" friend who did see in me what I did not see in myself. Because if I had just been very stubborn, there's no way I would know any of you, and there was no way that I would get the privilege to be able to do something like this with 2 of my most favorite people in the world, which are my girls. And so I love the fact that we get to do this together, and that premiere was designed for families. And so I am going to talk to you about how is it that you get to stay in the center ring. How many of you have ever been to a circus before? Okay, we always have the Ringling Brother and Barnum and Bailey Circus. Come on up to Michigan. And so I've gone there a few different times. We've taken our grandkids, and we took our kids a couple of times. And I remember as a little girl growing up, my birthday is in January, and on our birthdays, with my mom and dad not having a lot of money, they would always give us a chance to go out for dinner on our birthday. We could pick a restaurant that we wanted to go to, but in my birthday, the circus always came to town. And so my mom and dad told us, you get a choice. You can either go to the circus or you can go out for dinner. And we didn't go out for dinner very often, so really going out for dinner was a treat. And so I kept thinking, vacillating, and I thought, well, Nancy's birthday is next month, so then we'll all go out for dinner that month. So I'll choose the circus. So we would go almost every year to the Barnum and Bailey Ringling Brothers Circus, and we would just have a wonderful time there together. We all got at least one treat. It was box popcorn, and we got to watch the circus. And you know, if you didn't think anything about a circus, you know that it's got lots of rings. It's not just one thing happening in the center ring. They've got the side rings, and they've got what's happening on the trapeze artist, and they've got the rings over here. And yet, as I think about our awesome theme that we have tomorrow, the greatest show on earth, you know, that is centered around like a circus ring. And I was thinking about, as all of us are, some of you are leaders in Premier, some of you are starting in Premier, some of you are restarting in Premier, some of you are kind of on that midway in Premier. But wherever you find yourself in the business of Premier, I am going to talk to you about how is it that you get to stay in the center ring with all the distractions happening in the other rings all around you. Because it was hard sometimes when you're at the circus to be able to focus on all three rings that were happening. Did you want to watch the juggler over here, or the clowns over here, or the lion tamer right here, you know? Because they were all really, really good things to be watching. But the reality of it is you got to be able to stay in the center. You got to find your center focus if you're going to be able to go forward in Premier. And what is that going to look like? And so I think that it's so amazing. Julie and I didn't talk at all. I never heard the book that she was reading. But one of the things that I think about is, in order for us to do that, you've got to be aware of the distractions. You are going to have distractions all around you. There are going to be distractions in your house. There are going to be distractions in your work. There are going to be distractions in your church. There are going to be distractions in your head. Your head's going to tell you one thing, and then another thing, and then another thing, and then another thing. And you got to be careful of that negative self-talk that you've got to be really, really, really careful of, especially as women. But there's going to be a lot of distractions that we oftentimes allow into our world, and sometimes there'll be distractions that will come into our lives unexpectedly. But as you're going to be able to keep your center of gravity in order for you to be going, I think it's very, very important for you to be able to get on the right path. So know where your center is. And how do you know where that center is for you? And how do you stay in that center ring without falling out to one side or another? Number one thing you have to do is you've got to be committed. And do you know what commitment is? We live in a society that commitment is not as important anymore. People don't stay committed very long. They only stay committed when it's easy. And then as soon as it gets tough, they bail ship. They're out of there. You know, I'm going to find a different job. I don't like this job. I don't like the people I work with. I'm going to try something. I don't like this church. I'm going to go find another church. I don't want to, you know, commitment is not something that we see in our day and age. But I'm going to tell you that every successful person, regardless of what you want success in, you want success in your marriage, you want success as a parent, you want success in your business, you want success in anything, you got to be committed. And commitment is not based on feelings. Commitment is based on knowing why you do what you're doing. That's why Julie Miller can be in Premier for 20 years and not quit. Has it always been easy? No, it's not always easy. Are there days she feels like quitting? Yes. Same with myself. Same with most of you sitting in this room. If you've never felt like quitting Premier, you've not been in Premier long enough. There will be a day that you're going to ask yourself, is this really going to be worth it? And if you answer that question by saying no, then you really forgot your purpose as to why you said yes to Premier in the first place. Now, my purpose for getting into Premier 16 years ago is sitting right here. I wanted to help her go to college, but my purpose for doing Premier was right here. I didn't want to work full time. I'd always, when I was a little tiny girl, and people would look at me and say, "What do you want to be when you grow up, Tony?" I said, "I want to be a mommy. I want to be a mom." I had been babysitting since I was like 10 years old. And I love to babysit, and I love taking care of children, and that was my drive. And so when I had my own kids, I was fulfilling my lifelong dream. I wanted to be a mom. But I also knew that in the society in which we live in, and how many times the Bible talks about money, and how awful debt can be, Premier has been a vehicle that God has used to totally get us out of debt, 100% upset for our house. My husband and I carry absolutely no debt outside of our home, thank goodness, to Premier. But you know what? I didn't want her graduating from college with a boatload of debt because I didn't know. I don't know what her future was going to hold. But the reality of it is I didn't want the ball and chain there for her either. And so that was my why of getting into Premier. Well, guess what? All my children are gone now. I don't have any more college to pay for, you know? And so now if my why doesn't change and my why is not big enough to keep me in Premier, I tell you right now, ladies, money doesn't make you happy. It doesn't. If you're in here because you think a lot of money is going to give you happiness, money doesn't make me happy. You know, there's been for years, people would say, well, what's your commission tag? And I go, I have no clue. Because it wasn't my driving force. And so when Julie just shared with you, my why factor is to help other women discover not only their potential, but also discover the hope that can be found in Premier through all of the amazing opportunities and relationships. That gets me up every single morning and pushes me through when I'm not feeling like I really want to do this anymore. Because you know what, ladies? As women, God created us as that emotional level. And unfortunately, too many of us work Premier in our emotions versus in our logic and in our commitment and in our purpose and in our why factor. You know, men are very logical, and that's why for a long time in the early stages of our relationship with my husband and I, he's a police officer. And so if you know anything about police officers, they're all about solving crimes. That's what they're doing. They go out and figure out who did it, when did they do it, how did they do it, and how can we fix it. So I would be there talking to him whether it was about the kids or whether it was about what we were doing or whether now it was about Premier, and he was always right there to fix it. And I finally looked at him one day and I said, I don't want you to fix it, I just want you to listen. And that was a very difficult thing. So then when I got him to Premier and we were dealing with all kinds of women and I needed to figure out a lot of things, he would sit there and go, stop, stop. And I go, what? Are you wanting me to fix this? Or just listen to you? Well, just listen to me. Okay, so he'll sit there and he'll listen. And then I go, well, what would you do? And he go, do you want me to fix it? That's what I would do. And you know, and that kind of a deal. But you know what, because all I needed was an emotional place to vent. Because that's where we tend to live and work and grow. And so what happens is, when we only work in our emotion, guess what happens to your commitment? It sways based on where that emotional level is going to hit you right on the road. Ladies, I have a sign in my office that says this. Commitment is when you reach the point where you know you can't go on, but you decide to do it anyway. It's strictly hammered in by a decision. I don't think I can make one more phone call. But I'm going to pick it up because maybe number 9 will tell me yes. So I make a decision to pick up the phone one more time. I don't think I can sponsor because the last 4 girls I sponsored all quit. But I'm going to go out and do one more OP because I just might find the next Julie Miller out there. I don't think I'm going to get a show over $100. But I'm going to go out and do another show because it might be my next $1,000 show. You see what happens? If you say to yourself, I can't, and you don't, you won't. But if you say to yourself, this is hard, but I decide to do it anyways, you are developing commitment. And what you are doing is you are demonstrating to your family, I'm not a quitter. I have a girl in my downline right now who's struggling with bookings. And when she got into Premier, she's very, 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 very new in Premier. And she's got a lot of distractions in her life. And as new jewelers, you're going to have a lot of distractions because you have to learn how that Premier is going to now become a part of your life and what that's going to look like. And so anyways, Nikki and I were talking one day, and I was just saying to her about a couple of different things, and she's like, Joni, I just don't know if I can do Premier. I don't really have very many shows. This and that's happening. And I just looked at her and I said to her, yes, you can do Premier because I'm here to help you do Premier. And I just got in her face about this far and I said, do you trust me? And she said, well, yes, I trust you. I said, then don't make your mother-in-law's prophecy come to be. Because she told you that this was not going to work, and if you quit, you are just going to prove her wrong, or right. I said, we're not going to prove her right. You're going to go out, and we're going to get on the phone, and we're going to book you another jewelry show, okay? And you should have seen the empowerment in that girl. She's like, I'm not letting my mother-in-law be right. I'm doing this business. You know, but you have to sometimes remind them because there's a lot of naysayers out there. So So you've got to keep this in front of you. You've got to be committed. And in doing that, in having that commitment, you've got to learn to say no. Ladies, please, I'm not saying that you can't do anything but premiere, but seriously, you say yes to way too many things. Every time you say yes to this, you say no to premiere. And if you girls are really wanting to get to Disney, you got to keep your eye on the prize. You got to do it again. You got to get out there and do it again. You got to become creative in there. And you've got to say no. Because if it's gonna affect your family, if it's gonna affect your business, if it's gonna affect your time with your husband, then say no. Because now at my level, or at my age, and I don't have any kids at home, I can say yes to a whole lot more. But I don't get to have Rebecca or Melissa come back and say, can you just be 9 one more time? I just want you to be 9 again. No. Because I've decided to be too busy outside with all those other things. You know what? As a mom, was I a perfect mom? No, I wasn't. Were there things I wish I'd have done different? Yes, I do. But the reality of it is, I liked being a mom. I did. I don't have any regrets. I can't change it. There were so many times that as a parent, I blew it in different areas. And I would just look at her and I'd say, Rebecca, I have never raised a 13-year-old before. I'm sorry. I was wrong in that aspect. You've never been 13 before. I've never raised a 13-year-old before. I'm sorry. Let's do it again. And we would try it again. Well, then she came around and she turned 13. I couldn't say I'd never raised a 13-year-old. So I look at her and I'd say, Melissa, I've never raised you as a 13-year-old. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm sorry. Let's try it again. You see what happens? You get lots of times to try it again, but you don't get to bring them back and try it again. All right? So say no. Don't say yes to everything you do. Okay. Number 2, if you are going to be able to keep yourself in the center ring and work your way to a strong business, not only just to Disney, because Disney is just a one awesome, but this could be a lifelong thing. Number 2, you've got to be consistent. This business is too difficult to work sporadically. Tom Barrett says you can work Premiere full-time, you can work Premiere part-time, but you cannot work at spare time. Because there's not one person in this room that has spare time. We always find something to fill it with, whether it's watching so you think you can dance on television, getting on Facebook, pinning on Pinterest. I mean, you know, we got all kinds of stuff out there that we can do. However, you've got to be consistent. And how is it that consistency can become in your life like a habitual habit? Well, if you don't know why you do Premiere, you won't do Premiere. Goes right back to that whole purpose again. And your purpose has to be big enough to push you to do Premiere. For example, Rebecca, she has no mister bringing in a paycheck into her life, okay? She knows that if she does not go out there and do 12 shows in her life, then she's not going to have certain bills that aren't paid. But some of you sitting in this room, if you don't do your 4 shows in a month that you set out to do, this is what you do. Oh, that's all right. It's not a big deal. It should be a big deal. It should be a big deal. Because if you're working to pay off that credit card, that should be a big deal. Because you look at all the interest that you just ended up paying that month because it wasn't a big deal. It has to be a big deal. So you need to set goals. And they need to be smart. Smart goals. This is what a SMART goal stands for. Number 1, it has to be specific. For example, I have a credit card that's got a $1,000 balance on it. Okay? How quickly do I want to pay off that $1,000 balance? Do I want to leave it there for the next 7 years and only pay $7 a month on that darn thing and then a ton of interest with it? Or do I want to get rid of that $1,000 credit card in the next 3 months? Okay, that's a specific goal. Pay off that card in 3 months. That's good. Number 2, it's got to be measurable. That's your timeline there. Okay? How long? It's got to be a measurable thing. It's got to be a meaningful thing. How much freedom would you have knowing that you didn't have to have that $1,000 credit card anymore? Or whatever that might be. Number 3, the A has to be achievable. So for you to say, I want to pay off my $1,000 credit card in the next 4 weeks and you don't have any bookings on your calendar, that's not an achievable goal. I want to pay off my car by the end of, October, and you still owe $23,000 on it. That's not achievable. But what you can do is you've got to be able to see it and then say, based on what I can do in Premiere, while working a full-time job and raising these 3 children, what is an achievable amount that I can be able to pay extra on that car to be able to get rid of that car payment that much faster, or that credit card? So what you're doing is you're making it achievable. It has to be relevant. It has to be now. It can't be 6 years from now. What is something relevant in your life that if you used your premier income to do, that would make a huge difference in your family? Huge. You know why a lot of men are against what we do in Premier? I'll tell you why. It's because they don't see any results of Premier. They don't. And so to them, it's just a night that you go out, get dressed up, bring your jewelry box away. He takes care of your children at home, but he's not seeing any results. I think of the Jerry Maguire show where he says, "Show me the money." That's what he wants. Show him the money. Even if it's $50 off of that jewelry show, $100 off of that jewelry show. You have got to realize that if it's not relevant to him, he's going to become one of your worst advocates in Premier. And if you want him on board, you've got to show him the results of what you're getting out of your Premier business. So that's the R in your SMART. And the T is it's got to be time-based. When do you want to pay off that credit card? When do you want to pay off that car note? When do you want to be able to achieve whatever it is? We all have a time that we have to qualify to go to Disney. Okay? It's a time-based contest. That's awesome. But in your own personal life, that contest, the Disney contest, should be the ultimate reward for your family or yourself or your spouse to go on. But guess what the greater reward is? Using your personal Premier income to get rid of whatever it is that's hanging over your head in your own personal life. Do you see? That's even a greater reward. Because when you get home from Disney, maybe that bill won't be hanging there anymore. Maybe that won't be a problem with you anymore. Maybe you're going to see a whole lot more freedom because you got rid of them. And so you've got to be consistent in them, and that's one of the things that we'll do. So how many jewelry shows every month can you do, or every 4 weeks? I like to look at it in a 4-week cycle versus a January, February, March, April, because that means if I'm looking at the middle of September, I should be counting out 4 weeks to about the middle of October. And in my life, I really do like to hold 6 or 8 jewelry shows every 4 weeks. That's what I've done since day one. And it's important for me to be able to sponsor 7 to 10 new jewelers every single year. And so in a 4-week cycle, I am not looking and going, okay, in September, I have 9 shows. Okay? But you should be looking 3 months out all the time with your business. So if I looked at you right now and said, how many shows do you need in November? I know, I need 4 new shows in November yet. I have 5 booked, I need 4 more shows on my calendar yet. How many do I need in October? 0. I have no room left. How many do I need in September? 0. How many do I need in September or in December? 3. Guess what? I know that. Because I'm forward thinking. That's one of the things that happens is as the boss, a boss of a good corporation doesn't look as what is our business generating this month. You know what it does? This month is just a stepping stool to the next 3, 4, 5, and 6 months. You've got to be looking out. That's where your calendar has to be planned. You've got to know when training is. You got to know exactly where your qualifyings are. And so having tracking forms, whether it's the Mickey Mouse ears that you're coloring in for the contest, whether it's just looking at your calendar and be able to visually see names on your calendar, whatever that might be, those are going to give you the ability to track where you are heading so that you know that you are staying consistent and committed to whatever it is where you're going. So it's really, really important to do that. You make sure you're consistent in your follow-up because that I think is one of the most powerful tools of your business is your follow-up. We are really, really good starters, but we don't always finish really strong. Because again, it takes commitment, doesn't it, to finish strong. And some of us, we make a really good contact with somebody, but we don't follow up with her. We got a name from somebody as you're in Steinmart, and we say we're going to call them or we're going to get a catalog in the mail, but that number ends up in the bottom of our purse, and it's been 2 weeks, and all of a sudden we go, who is this? I never dropped the catalog in the mail. Or you did drop the catalog in the mail, and you never called her to see if she got the catalog, and so we don't follow up because we talk ourselves right out of following up, thinking, oh, it's been 2 weeks, I should have called her last week, maybe she's working right now, maybe I never did. See, and we got to get rid of all that stinking thinking. We got to start thinking right, because right thinking produces right actions, and right actions produce right results, and that's where it's going to become more empowering to you to be able to do that. So make sure you're working on consistency. All right, The next thing that you need to do is busy women. Is there anybody in this room that's not busy? Can I see your hand? Okay, so y'all have to do this. Calendar control. If you want to stay in the center ring, you better control your calendar. And it goes right back to what I said at the very beginning. Don't say yes to everything. There's a lot. I was reading an article as I was coming down here, and it says we oftentimes miss the best because we settle for good. Because we say yes to the good, we miss the best. And when you say yes to something that's good, you're sacrificing that which is best. And in your life, you all said yes to Premier for whatever reason that was. And ladies, as the boss and the CEO of your corporation, you should be paying more attention to that business than to trying to help build everybody else's business, or everybody else's ministries, or everybody else's families, or everybody else's ball teams, or everybody. See what's happening? That you have to realize that saying yes means saying no to Premier. So you've got to make sure you're controlling your calendars. You can do a lot of things, but you can't do everything. All right? And I have found that in Premier, and I will be very honest with you, I was that girl in the very first part of Premier that said yes to everything. Everything. As a little girl, my mom and dad had 4 children in 5 years, and I was number 2. And my mom said that at that time it was legal to tie your children in bed. Okay? And I was the child that they literally tied in bed. I had a harness and it had straps that went underneath my mattress. Because she would find me in the basement on rocking horses or standing up on cupboards, or that's where Eli gets it. I'm so As I'm saying this is exactly what her son does. She gets up and there he is standing on. No, she doesn't tie him in bed, but there he's standing on the cupboard. What are you doing? I'm hungry. I'm like, oh, it's 2:30 in the morning. Okay. But that was me. I was the girl that ran circles around my mother. I've always had this active Energizer Bunny aspect of my life. And so when I got into Premier 16 years ago, I literally, my husband and I, we were managing a campground. Now, this is where you literally put tents and trailers and motorhomes in our backyard. We had 3 ponds on the property, and that's where we lived for 10 years, okay? And so we were doing everything from cutting 45 acres of grass. We were cleaning public bathrooms. We were chasing goats. We were running crafts. We were measuring fish. We were checking in campers. We were cleaning the house, cooking the groceries, doing the laundry, stocking stores. I mean, everything you do as a mom, paying the bills, you're doing it as a mom and running a huge campground. I was teaching childbirth education through a local hospital for labor and delivery, so I was still performing in my nursing career. I was director of spiritual growth at my church and teaching Bible study on Tuesday mornings and Wednesday nights. And I was singing in the choir, and we were fostering babies through Bethany Christian Services, and my girlfriend said, would you like to do Premier? Yeah, right. But obviously, I got into Premier, but what we ended up doing was we ended up slowly but surely letting go of some really good things, where all those things I was doing was really good. Fostering babies is a really good thing to do. But I needed to start saying no to babies, because there were lots of other women that could hold and love and kiss and snuggle those babies, because I was given the responsibility of loving on Premier babies, who also needed me to hold them and love them and teach them and train them and equip them and build relationships with them. So I stopped teaching childbirth education. I stopped fostering babies. And then came along chances of me doing childbirth ed classes, and I was doing them 2 nights a week. And I figured, I like Mel, I'm Dutch, but I'm not dumb. I would make $60 a night teaching a childbirth education class, and on an average I was making $250 a night doing a Premier jewelry show. So I stopped teaching childbirth ed, and I started just doing 2 consistent jewelry shows every single week. But I knew that if I was going to do Premier and let go of that, I had to do 2 shows every single week, and I just did 2 shows every single week. And so I let that go, and I continued to be director of spiritual growth for a while until I found that the ministry of Premier is great, if not greater, than the ministry I was doing in my church. And there was a gal that I thought would be awesome at it, and so she began raising up as the director of spiritual growth at our church. And then instead of teaching 2 Bible studies, I brought myself down to 1 Bible study. And so do you see what was happening, ladies? I had a ministry. I did have babies. I was using all of the gifts that the Lord had given to me. But I couldn't do everything. And so Premier became my best focus alongside of my family, and God honored that. Because you have to realize I was ministering, I was teaching. Sometimes I would get a jeweler and I'd hang up the phone and I'd go, well, that was a good transition. And I felt like I would have to say, breathe, just take a breath, come on, pant flow with me for just a second. It's all right, come on, we're gonna get through this contraction and you're gonna get on the other side of it. And I'd walk her right through whatever the problem was that she'd have, and she'd be all better and be fine. And I'd giggle and I'd be like, well, that seemed like a good transition there. What do you think, But so you have to realize that what you're doing in Premier is a great thing. And so you've got to control your calendar so that you can continue to do what you need. Do you know what Proverbs 14:1 says? A wise woman, don't you want to be wise? I do. That is my one prayer that I pray almost every day, is that God will make me wise. And wisdom, by the way, if you don't know what wisdom is, you say, well, how do you know if you're wise? I'll tell you what it is. Very simple. It's the application of knowledge. It's doing what you know to do. That's what wisdom is. If you want to be a wise woman, do what you know you're supposed to do, and you're wise. A fool knows what to do and refuses to do it. A wise woman builds her house. You see, saying yes to everything isn't necessarily building your house. But with her own hands, the foolish one tears it down. Because she's got her hands busy in too many things. And as she's out there with her hands in too many things, her house underneath her could be crumbling. You don't want that. Premier was to bless your family, not to crumble your home. And so be careful, all right? And utilize your calendar as a great resource. And Melissa's going to talk tomorrow on bookings. And she's got a great system for being able to control your calendar with awesome and while raising a family. All right. Next thing, in order for you to stay in the center ring, all right? It's called your comfort zone. And I'm not saying I want you to stay in your comfort zone, because if you stay in your comfort zone, you will go no farther than what you are right now. Every successful individual who's successful at anything has got to be willing to move out of their comfort zone. So if you're feeling good right now, and you're feeling comfortable right now, and you're loving what you're feeling like right now, let me tell you what, it's time to move. Because nobody gets anywhere staying in their comfort zone. You have got to move, and every time you move, your comfort zone will be able to grow larger, and you will expand, and you will find more confidence, and you will find that you have a greater impact outside of where you are right at this particular moment. Every single day, you need to do at least 1 to 2 things that make you very uncomfortable. Every day. I don't care what that is, if it's making a follow-up telephone call, if it's making a booking telephone call, if it's whatever that thing that's going to make you uncomfortable. Maybe it's role-playing with your sponsor. That thing, oh my goodness, I would rather have a hot flash than role-playing with my sponsor. I want you to have a hot flash and role-play. Both at the same time, okay? Because the reality of it is that she can't help you unless she sees you. And you need to do whatever it's going to take to get you from where you are to where you want to be. No growth ever grows and remains comfortable all at the same time. You've got to be willing to stretch. And so those are some of the most powerful things that you can do. You know, Proverbs 14:3 says, all hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads to poverty. Do you talk more about Premier than you actually do Premier? Because if you do, it doesn't bring any results. You've got to be willing to work Premier. All hard work brings a profit. You know what? Premier's really not hard, but I work hard at Premier. I work consistently at Premier. I work diligently at Premier. I'm committed to Premier. And guess what happens? It brings forth a great profit. It brings forth a great result. And that's some of the things that you have to do. If you keep doing what you've always been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've always been getting. And if you like what you're getting, then keep doing it. Keep doing it. If it's working, keep doing it. Tomorrow you're going to get inundated with some great information. I know it. And you know what? Some of you, what you're doing actually is working great for your Premier business. Don't change it. Just keep doing it. Just tuck it in your pocket, because you might find a girl that can't do what you do, and you can be able to say, oh, I remember this girl came to Houston and she talked on hostess coaching, and this might work for you. Great! But what I'm doing is working for me, so I'm staying in my lane. Keep doing what I can do. All right? And so you've got to keep doing that. But if what you're doing is not working, stop doing it. Because that's the definition of insanity. It really is. And you are too smart of people. Ladies, you are smart women. All right? And sometimes, believe it or not, because we've got to get rid of some stinking thinking in our head, we keep Jesus doing the same thing over and over, hoping it will change. It's not going to change. But if you just tweak it a little bit, it might make you uncomfortable for just a little bit. But every time you step out of your comfort zone, you grew. You grew. And if you want to be able to do greater things than what you're doing right now, you got to move. God intended you to do greater things than you ever dreamed possible. All right? Start believing Him. God did not put it in the Word of God in Ephesians 3:20 that you can do immeasurably more. God says, and He can do immeasurably more than all you'd ever dare ask or imagine, according to His power that's at work within you. Why is it that we limit the power of God so much? You know why? Because we look at ourselves in the mirror and don't think that we have the ability to do it. But God does. God's power is limitless. And He can do greater things than we ever thought possible. Our job is to trust Him. Our job is to get out of the boat. And believe it or not, walk on some water. Because that's where the power is. That's where the great things happen. It's when you and I get to move out of our comfort zone. And I know that some of you sitting here in this room are brand new jewelers. And you feel like you have been way out of the comfort zone of your life. You know what? I can say amen to that. I've been there and I can still be there more days than you can imagine. But guess what? I never walked out of my comfort zone alone. My premier sponsor, Julie Miller, Melissa Terrell, they were all here walking with me. Seriously, you are not alone in Premier. Look around this room. This room is filled with women that I believe it more than anything in my heart has the ability to do greater things than you've ever dreamed or imagined. Seriously. And Premier is giving you that opportunity. You just got to embrace it. You got to hang on to it. And you got to be able to take a deep breath like this and pick up the phone. And role play, and whatever it takes for you to do it. But just do it. And even if it doesn't get you the results you wanted, I want you to celebrate it. Because sometimes the greatest results is the fact that you did it. And do it again, and do it again, and do it again. Because that's where your confidence is going to grow. So moving out of your comfort zone is very important. The next thing about being in that center ring is this, is you've got to be a woman of character. You have to be a woman of character. And I believe more than anything that you have to realize that every time you move out of your comfort zone, you are in a character development process. God is more concerned about your character than He is about your comfort. And so often we want to be comfortable, don't we? I don't want to hurt. I don't want to be uncomfortable. I kind of want to stay here. But God says, I did not design you to stay here. I designed you to keep moving. And I want you to realize that whenever He asks you to move, He walks with you every single time. To every home show you walk through, to every opportunity presentation you do, to every training you have, to every phone call you make, God is there and He is walking with you. And He is listening to you and He believes in you. And so you need to realize that He's working on developing your character. Character development is what we become as the result of the activities we do. You see, ladies, if you're not doing any activities, you're not developing any real business character. Because you haven't changed. And you've got to be able to do that. Character development is in the work, not in the results. You develop the character in the work, not in the results. And character is what others see in you. Do you know that? I thought about this as I was thinking about this talk and as I was thinking about character. And oftentimes when you have somebody like, I just am very humbled as to how Julie Miller described my amazing daughters, which I would say a resounding amen to that. These are women of character. Not perfect women by any means. No. But they're women of character. Because they do what they say they're going to do. They're not coming down here and telling you something that they're not doing. And that, to me, the testimony of another man's lips is a testimony of your character. And I want us to be women of character. Listen to what Proverbs 22:1 says. A good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold. Be a jeweler of character. At every jewelry show you do, at every training you show up at every OP that you have the privilege to share, with every jeweler that you have on your team, be a leader of character. Do what you say you're going to do and do it with excellence. All right? Learn. Be teachable at all aspects. I'm always saying find a mentor. Find somebody that you want to become like and then resemble her character. I remember when we first moved to Allegan, I was, 21 years old, because Rebecca was a year, and we moved to this tiny little town called Allegan, where we currently live, and there was a woman that lived 3 doors down from me, and she had 3 children. And she became a really good friend of mine. Her name is Vivian Batches. As a matter of fact, she was very influential gift that the Lord gave to me when I was a very young, insecure, and scared woman. And just dealing with a lot of junk and guilt and stuff like that. And God gave me this woman by the name of Vivian. And the way our house was set is there was a stair. I would put her back upstairs in her bed for a nap. And then as I came down the stairs, I had this really long window. And I could look out the window and I could see Vivian sitting on this green chaise lounge reading books to her 3 children. And I would watch her. I'd watch her from a distance. That's the one thing about your life, ladies, is you are being watched. Your children are watching you, your family is watching you, your work associates are watching you, your church is watching you, your neighbors are watching you, and you don't even know it, but they're watching you to see if what you do and what you say match up. Well, after a couple of years and getting to know Vivian more and hanging out with her, there was a day, I will never forget it. I sat on my steps after I put her down for a nap, and I said, I want to be just like her. I want to be like her. I liked her marriage. I liked how she raised her children. I liked how she dealt with people. I loved everything about this woman's character because she was exactly who when she talked, that's what she lived out in her life. And in business, ladies, we are running businesses. May we be women of character. That means when you're at a jewelry show and you find out that this gal already has an active jeweler and you need booking desperately on your calendar, you don't take her. You push her right back to that jewelry lady. She's got a gal talking to her about the business already, and you so only need one more jeweler to be designer, and you can go to that Disney trip. You push her right back there. Because don't sell your reputation or deviate and destroy your character because you decided that what you wanted was more important than doing what is right and what is best for Premier. You see, that's what we have to remember is we're independent distributors, but we're interdependent on one another. And believe it or not, what we do up in Michigan affects what you do down here in Texas. And what you do down here affects us, what we do in Michigan. And I would hate for it to ever be said, those Michigan jewelers, oh, they're just terrible. They're catty up there, and they steal each other's jewelers, and there's no unity up there. I would hate that to be said. And you know what? I would hope that each one of you would not want that to be said about your area either. Because your area is not the area of the David and Julie Miller team, or the Greg and Melissa Terrell, or the Beverly, or whatever. This is the area of you. It's your character that truly builds this area. It's your integrity that really sets the stage that Premier is totally different. And so as we grow and we learn and we develop and we're running our personal businesses, and believe you me, there are going to be those days that you're going to be confronted with that gal and she is sharp. And you so want to do a show with her, or you so want to share Premier with her, but you start talking to somebody. You be that woman of character and you send her right back. You know, because those are the things that are really going to be helpful. Listen to this. Maybe you find yourself right now in a really difficult time. You are struggling. You're even questioning whether or not you should stay in Premier. You got things that are really, really hard right now. You have been trying to book those jewelry shows and nobody books. Or if you can get a show over $100, you'd be happy. I'm in a crowd of people right now. And to that I say this, you be faithful with a little and you will be entrusted with much. Because you are at a place right now in your life that God is going to be working more on your character. And He's going to, this is the test. And you ever hear that thing on the radio or the television where you hear that loud noise? And everybody's ears poke up. And they come across and they go, this is a test. This is only a test of the emergency broadcast system. When you find yourself in a hard place, this is a test. This is only a test of the character development that the King of Kings is doing in your life. That's all it is. And you know what? Romans 5 verse 3 says this, and we rejoice in our sufferings. Now rejoice doesn't mean we go, woo! I'm in the midst! But what it does say is, I count it all joy. And then that's what it says. Because we know that this suffering, this part of my business, this part of my life, this part of my marriage, this part of raising these teenagers, this part of my life, in my life, is producing in me perseverance. Do you know what the word perseverance means? You don't quit. You keep on keeping on. You persevere. You push through. You do it again. You get up. You do it again. And guess what perseverance develops? Perseverance develops character. Character. And you know what character gives you? Hope. And hope never disappoints us. Ever. There's so many times in your life and in my life when we find ourselves at the end of our rope and all we can think about doing is quitting. And guess what? You're on the verge of hope. You're on the verge of character. You're on the verge of a greater thing. But if you quit in the middle of the heartache, you miss out on the greatest blessing. And you know what? I don't know of too many jewelers that quit. I don't know any jeweler that quits premiere on the mountaintop when everything's going her way. She's got a calendar full of bookings. She's got a downline that's starting to grow. She's got a commission check that's coming in. She's loving her role. She doesn't wake up and go, I'm going to quit. Most people quit when they're down to nothing. And instead of developing like you would develop a muscle, the character and perseverance that it takes to get through life, to be used at a greater level, you quit. And there were days that I would call Julie Miller and say, I can't do this anymore. This is too hard. And because the voice of truth would tell me a different story. The voice of truth would say to me, come on, Joni, it's okay. It's okay. This is just a season. Keep on keeping on. God has used that in my life to develop my character. And I can tell you, I have hope. I have more hope now than I've ever had. Because I have been tested, I have been tried, I've walked through the valleys, but I refused to quit in the valley. Because I knew that that was where the greatest work that God was doing in my life, to teach me to trust Him was. And at the very end, we will celebrate. You will celebrate your success. And success might not mean that you're going to want to go into Disney. That might not be the success that the Lord has for you at this time. But it might be the success of booking another jewelry show and not quitting after phone call number 8. It might be the success of sponsoring a new jeweler after you've shared the business 10 times. It might be the success of being able to say, you know what? I did it. I did it. And you get to come into a room like this and center yourself once again and celebrate with one another the sweet success that Premier offers you. That sweet success that says, I did it. The help of God and the direction of the Millers and the excitement of my family, my Premier family, all around me. I did it. And I'm better for it. And I'm glad. Because guess what? I get tomorrow. I get to do it all over again tomorrow. And that's the best part about Premier. You might not have done what you wanted to do today, but there'll always be tomorrow. And if you get up tomorrow, it's a brand new day. And you can celebrate sweet success and keep your center of gravity planted right where you're at. Because God has big things for you. And I'm excited to celebrate with you. Thanks. Aren't you glad
Yes, yes.
Awesome. Just love her. She's the best. I'm excited that y'all made the effort to come, and I know you got to get up early in the morning, but I got to be there at 7, so it's going to be okay. But we've got some good drawings, and so where's, let's see, the ticket thing is right here. What are you going to do Monday morning? Conference call, that's right. And we're going to announce the winners of this week, and we're going to do the drawing for the cash for the team, that from the teams that completed the challenge. So, if you're not quite done with the challenge, what are you going to do? Finish the challenge, right?
Yep.
Okay. And, yes, thank you. That's why I gave it to you. Yolanda has something to give to Joni real quick.
It's been a pleasure meeting you, and on behalf of everybody here, I want to say thank you. And some of us have written you some special notes to say thank you.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you all very, very much. I appreciate that.
You'll be getting more.
You'll be getting more, yes. Excuse me.
Okay, so we have this fabulous book that I've been reading that was recommended to me called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Great, great book on how doing just the little things every day will bring you tremendous success. Great, great book. So get your tickets out. And white ticket, 780.
Oh my goodness.
I'm reading it too. It's really good. Okay, I think we need to do some pashminas. Have y'all been to Precious Collections lately? They've got the prettiest pashminas, and they've got all the colors for fall, and they've got a pashmina in every single color. So
And they have a palette too, the Pantone.
yes, the Pantone palette color. Okay, blue ticket, 585.
Oh, that's me!
You get to pick. If you don't have a ticket in here, hey, come get a ticket. Okay, you get to pick. Thank you. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Sorry.
Oh, Susan, yes. Yay, and listen, we have people that came a very long way. Susan King drove all the way from Austin. And Lori Reyes, stand up. How far did you come from?
Carol, close to Austin.
Close to Austin. And Becky Kneset drove, what, a couple hours?
Like an hour and a half.
Hour and a half. So we've got people coming from all over. So, okay.
Maybe a lot longer.
We're 2 hours from where?
Dayton.
From Dayton. That's awesome. Love that commitment. Okay, hot pink in honor of Joni. Last 3 numbers. I love it too. 710.
That's me!
Sorry. Okay. Very good. Okay. And we have also, we've got 2 things from 2 CDs from Tom Barrett called Easy Street, the facts about focus. How to focus. So who needs that most? Okay, love it. Okay, red ticket, 187. Woo! Okay, 2 more drawings. Oh no, 3 more. Okay, this is for another pashmina, blue ticket, 386. Woo! You'll take the pink?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Can you do a little bit more work for us, please? Blue ticket, 385.
Oh, she was just telling me how to win.
That's right. Go, Okay, and one more CD on focus. And let's all stand up real fast. And I would love to pray for all of you. And I'm going to be a woman of character and get the tickets out from underneath the folds in the thing. So you can all have a chance. Okay. And then we'll say a quick prayer. So last drawing, pink ticket. And it is,
There's two.
I had the pink one first, sorry. And last three numbers, 707. Y'all can listen to it all the way home.
Yes, we can. We have an hour and a half.
Okay, y'all, aren't you so glad you came? We will see all of you tomorrow. Let's say a quick prayer. I love you guys, and can't wait till Monday to find out who won. Everybody wins if you just made the calls and made the effort. Because whether you win or not, you're going to grow, and you're going to get out of that comfort zone, right? So, Heavenly Father, you are an awesome God, and we're so grateful for how we're able to grow so much through Premier. We're thankful that it's really a great thing in our lives, and I pray you'll give all of us boldness to go out there and share that with other women. And we're just going to pray right now that you will bring those women into our lives that have a need, that we can minister to, and that we can really help just through this little jewelry business. Heavenly Father, I pray for all the details for tomorrow, that it will go very smoothly. I pray for Becca and Melissa and Joni, that you'll just give them great power to speak the things that we all need to hear. And I pray, Lord, that we'll be committed and consistent to actually put it into action in our lives. It's in Christ's name we pray. Amen. Be careful. Be safe going home.